with the millions.
It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure flow. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat flow. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. Hard like winter cold. Bust these fools, anything less than killing whack rappers is a crime. I stay trying to get mine. Stacking value, packing venues, winning over time. Ain't no fine timeline. Open your eyes, you're looking for the best, and this is what you find. Game is only for the bold. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.
Introducing from parts unknown, your UFC and Combat Sports Insider, Clever D, the Combat G, and the Sports Professor.
Yo, what up?
DJ Clueless, because that sounded awful. That music sounded awful. The music stopped. It was just a beat going really kind of slow and choppy. You okay over there when you're in there, buddy?
Oh. I have no clue why.
And now you're frozen. Oh, he's back. What's up, peoples? We're here.
I have no clue what it looked fine on my end. It was playing fine over here, so I have no clue why. I'll have to check the YouTube and see if that came out correct on the YouTube, but it looked fine on Instagram too while I was watching it. So I'm not sure why that came out on your end like that. Can you hear me now though?
Oh, you're fine. You miss fading. Hey, people, we're here. Ball and Buds. We are here, minus some technical difficulties. If you can hear us, say something. Hopefully you can hear me because I'm yapping.
Testing mic 1 2. Testing mic 1 2.
Clever D and your man Omar over here. We're making it happen today. How y'all doing? You can't answer, but I'm gonna say it anyways.
Making it happen. I'm making it happen.
Oh,
can you hear me?
Watching. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. That's what I'm talking about.
Can you hear me or no?
You sound like you're down a hill. We can hear you, but you're down a hill or something.
This is getting ridiculous. I am like right on my microphone.
All right, people. Well, while he's fixing that, I'm gonna go ahead and start. We're gonna go over UFC 303. We're gonna talk about some boxing, mix a little personal news. We're gonna mix a little what I had to drink today and eat today, and we're gonna mix a little people who have foot fetishes. Nah, I'm just joking, but we're gonna talk about UFC today while Omar fixes what's going on. All right, Maria, good. I'm glad you can hear me. Omar's he's fixing his side of things. He's gonna hop back on. I told him a long time ago you cannot buy a Slurpee and a laptop in the same place, because you get the quality that you paid for. But we're rocking and rolling. We're gonna make it work today, and we got a big UFC card this weekend. It was supposed to be Michael Chandler and versus Conor McGregor, but unfortunately, it got canceled about 2.5, 3 weeks ago because Conor McGregor broke his toe, and he's been out the cage for, I want to say, since he broke his leg against Dustin Poirier, which was a couple years ago. So, I honestly didn't think he was going to make this fight because, he looks a little juiced up. He's taking that Ryan Garcia medicine, so he's been looking pretty big for this fight. But it got canceled, and we got a hell of a main event rematch with Alex Poirier going against Yuri Bohachich. Hopefully, I didn't butcher his name because his name is hard to say. But anyways, we got that main event. We also got Brian T. City Ortega going against Diego Lopez, and that's a barn burner. That might be a passing torch type fight. It's crazy to say that passing torch, but Brian Ortega, it's like he's been fighting forever, and he's 33 years old. But he fights so sporadically. But you got that's good. That's gonna be a good fight also. And then you got the next wannabe Conor McGregor. You got Ian Gary going against Michael Venom Page. Now that fight's interesting because you got Michael Venom Page with his second fight in the UFC. And he's known for his Bellator fights, and he's fought Michael Perry and bare knuckle fighting. So that's gonna be very interesting because Michael Venom Page likes to dance around and look goofy and look silly. Besides that knockout by Diego Lima, Douglas Lima, you know what I'm saying? He's had a pretty decent career, but he fought in Bellator with a bunch of people that work at U-Haul. So it's hard to kind of gauge how good he is because if you don't fight UFC, you don't fight at best. Apparently in MMA, that's always a story. Oh, you're back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
There we go.
Hey, Yo, what is up, friends? I apologize for those technical difficulties. Not sure what happened. I had everything set up. Clubber D can attest. He came into the waiting room, into the green room when I was testing out all the music and everything, and he told me that my volume started messing up. So I'm not sure what happened. Everything was fine before, so I'm gonna have to again not buy my laptops at the 7-Eleven. So we'll make sure that we go get maybe a new one of those as well. I am actually going to probably be switching locations and going to a new internet location for future programs for hopefully better internet. So we'll see. That being said, I saw you introducing what we're going to talk about today, a little UFC 303, a little bit of boxing news, fights. We'll also have in Tony the Savant joining us in a little bit to debate his boxing pound for pound list with Clubber D. And as well, we will have our always funny fan mailbag. That being said, shout out to my mama. She wanted us to give her and my grandmother a shout out since they are live in Caguas, Puerto Rico, watching us.
Hey.
So hello to my grandmother and my mother. We love you.
Wepa. I'll see you guys at the Sheridan 4 Points. Okay, I'll be over there on Tuesday nights, salsa dancing and playing blackjack. It's a fun place. Y'all should go. Just saying.
Hey.
What?
I like that. I think that sounds like a good idea. All right. Well, let's get C303. So let's kick this bad boy off. First of all, as I heard you mentioning, right, this was originally slated to be Conor McGregor's huge return to fight Michael Chandler. Obviously, over the weeks when the press conferences were getting delayed and they had, all these people hanging on the edge trying to figure out, was this actually going to happen? Was it what? If it wasn't, Dana White is still taking people's money. I'm seeing people's fans complaining online because he still took their money even though he knew it was going to be canceled. Conor McGregor turns out had an injured toe, a broke action until the foreseeable future. So as you mentioned though, right, since he was injured, since he won't be in this card anymore, which is very disappointing to all UFC and MMA fans in general, who was wanting to see him come along. We now have that replacement between Alex Pereira and Jiri Prochazka, as we like to call him. So that'll be the main event there.
Yeah, it's go ahead.
No. I was just going to say that's going to be the new main event that we are seeing headlining 303. You mentioned the other ones as well. That would be the fights that we would see on this card. So let's go ahead and we'll go with the other cards first. We'll start with one of the preliminary fights, that I know that you wanted to talk about on this program before we give your club banger for the main event. And so that is the actual undercard fight of the night that you have to watch between Cub Swanson versus Andre Fili. So can you give us your thoughts on that fight?
Yeah, Cub Swanson, he's one of those holdovers that came over from WEC with Uriah Faber, Jose Aldo, Dominic Cruz. This guy he's been in the game for so long, and all his fights are usually exciting. And he's fighting Andre Palzo named Touchy Philly. I think that's probably gonna be the fight of the night. That's gonna be a barn burner. Okay, these guys are, I think, 135 pounds, something like that. That's a fight I saw in the main undercard. I was like, you know what? That's what I want people to look at. Okay, you need to check that fight out. I would say not a club banger, but I actually Cub Swanson winning this fight. Actually, you know what? Reverse club banger. I'm gonna say Feely's probably gonna win this fight because.
Reverse club banger?
Reverse club banger. I had to switch it up a little bit. I'm looking at my notes and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go with Feely. He looked pretty good his last fight, so I'm gonna go with Feely on that one. Watch me be wrong though. That don't count on my record, but we'll make it work. Okay, we'll make it work today.
Yes, sir. We will make it work. All right, and then let's keep that moving on. The next fight that I know you wanted to talk about is who you just mentioned, right? A guy that some say is a little bit Conor McGregor. This is going to be total showmanship. I don't even know if the ring is big enough to hold all the cockiness and showboatness that will happen in this fight between Michael Venom Page and Ian Gary. So, sir, what are your thoughts on what should be a very fun fight to watch?
Well, Ian Gary's one of the fighters, kind of like Paddy Pimpleton, that they're from across the pond that they're trying to build up to be mega stars similar to Conor was or is. Ian Gary, his nickname's the Future, and he's from Ireland, so there you go. Also with that whole Conor connection. He's 14-0, 7 KOs. He's fought in decent opposition in the UFC. He's fought in Jeff Neal, which it was a split decision win, but it could have gone Jeff's way for some people. I kind of had Ian Gary winning, but I could see if they put Jeff Neal winning that fight. He's fought Neil Magny, he was the basically Kevin Holland-esque type fighter. He's a gatekeeper, but he's a very good gatekeeper, even though Kevin Holland said he's not a gatekeeper. And he also fought a person who fought just past weekend, Daniel Rodriguez, and he knocked him out. So Ian Gary, he's an exciting fighter, but there's a lot of backstory where he got kicked out of Leon Edwards' fight team. I think he married or is dating one of his old trainers' wives or something, or ex-wives. A lot of people don't like the guy. He's very, very cocky. Yeah, it's very cocky. He's very brash, as the cool people like to say. But he's full of himself, but he can fight. So I'm a fan of that. He's fighting Michael Page. I mean, Ian Gary's 26. You got Michael Page, who's what? Michael Page is 37 years old. So he's older.
He's older. He's a little long in the tooth now. Yeah.
He's long in the tooth, and he's fought Bellator for.
But he can still fight though. He can still fight though, man. He can still move.
He can go because his style. He does that little weird sideways karate style. So
yes,
I thought they were gonna have against a Wonder Boy Thompson, but I would say this with Michael Page. He's famous for his knee to head hit with Cyborg, the male Cyborg's husband, when he cracked his skull, caved that in. So he's an exciting fighter. So this fight will be good. I think this is one to tune into also. But that's they're gonna kick the card off with that fight, and the fact that they're doing that is ridiculous. So hats off to the UFC, or hairlines off to them.
Yeah, a hairline. For a card that was, I don't want to say sabotaged, but we had some questions as to whether this card was really going to happen. And so for us to not only our suspicions be correct about the fight being canceled or the fight being delayed and Conor McGregor not being ready, maybe not the fight that everybody was expecting to see so soon, but a great fight nonetheless is what we shall see in this second edition of, as we mentioned, AP. We both love AP a lot, right? And we also got him going against Yuri Prochazka, who also previously fought in Rizin in Japan. So has some international experience there. So this is for the light heavyweight championship here. And again, even though it wasn't exact, what?
I was going to do the co-main event first before that, but we can jump to main event.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I skip the co-main? I sure did.
Sure did.
I apologize. No, I sure did. I skipped. My bad. I skipped the one you wanted to talk about the most. My bad. Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez, who you mentioned earlier. My apologies, everybody. I got a little off track. I got too excited for the 303 main event. So the co-main, Brian Ortega, even though he has only competed 5 times since 2018, we both love to see him fight. And the way that he's fought, his first 2 defeats came in those UFC title challenges against Max Holloway and Volkanovski the Great. So now he's coming back T-City, as you mentioned. He's going to be meeting Lopez, a prospect who has now won 5 out of his last 6. Yeah, I said he's good. Can you hear me?
Muted himself. But anyways, Brian Ortega, he's come back. He's 2-3 in his last 5 fights. I feel like he looked great fighting Yuri Rodriguez in his last fight in Mexico. He looked good. That was a rematch because he hurt his elbow in the prior fight, which was oh man, Flo's going in. But he looked good fighting in Mexico his last fight when he rematched Yair Rodriguez. But he's fighting a killer. Diego Lopez is a killer. This kid is bad. Okay, I mean, I mentioned earlier with Brian Ortega being 33 years old, and Diego Lopez is 29, 24, and 6. Okay, and in his last 5 fights, he's 4-1 of his last 5 fights with 3 knockouts, 1 TKO, and 1 submission, and one loss by decision. So this guy's bad. We last saw him on UFC 300. I believe I called that fight when we were down in Nashville that he was going to beat. I forgot the young man he fought, but Diego Lopez. This kid's a killer, man. He's good, man. Out of his 24 wins, 10 of them by KO and 12 by submission. So he's well rounded. You don't see that a lot in MMA now. You usually see somebody that's either a puncher or a now your dad's on there, a puncher or a somebody who's a submission practitioner. So this fight is it's one of the fights that it's a good co-main event. Now as far as who I got winning, you go and get it ready. Let's see if that's not muted, Omar. Let's go. Let's hear it. Can we get the club banger? If you can hear me.
Yeah, I got you.
Not.
Can you hear me?
Sorry, people.
Can you hear me? You can't hear me?
Food line technology
banger.
over here. But anyways, I got Diego Lopez winning this fight. And I don't know if I even called the last one Ian Gary or Michael Page, but I'm gonna go with Ian Gary beating Michael Page in the fight before. Are you back? Oh, sure. I keep on going.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
So
I don't know what happened.
All right, I'm gonna go straight to the main event. So main event, we got Alex Pereira going against Yuri. I'm not going to keep butchering his last name. Yes, he was a rising champion, and yes, he was the ex-UFC light heavyweight champion. Okay, he beat Glover Teixeira, who was.
Hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Omar. Oh well, that's weird. I can't hear him. He beat Glover Teixeira, who was the former champion, and Glover Teixeira is Alex Pereira's training partner. So. All right, as I'm trying to talk, y'all guys are having a conversation. What's going on over here? You guys are good? Flo and Omar, we're all right. I'm gonna keep
They say
going.
they can hear me.
I'm gonna keep going. Jesus Christ. So he beat Glover Teixeira, who was Alex Pereira's former partner. And I would say that since then he had a little grudge against him. He stared him down after he won, after he beat his training partner. Alex Pereira moved up after his loss to Israel Adesanya. He moved up to fight Yuri, and that fight, he beat him. He knocked him out in the second round, but that was after a long layoff by Yuri Prochazka. When he beat Glover Teixeira, he was out of the cage for over a year. So he fought him with his first fight coming back off shoulder surgery, and he knocked him out in the second round. But Yuri, this man is 30-4 with 26 KOs. This guy can fight. Okay, he's not a slouch. I'm not happy about this quick turnaround for this fight since they're fighting so soon. And it's got announced out of nowhere. I don't know if Dana White already knew that Conor wasn't a go, and he said, okay, guys, go ahead, see if you can get trained up and make weight, or were they already a backup to this event because they were already scheduled for a prior event. So I'm kind of weary on how this is going, but I feel this is going to be a different fight than the first go around. We all know about Alex Pereira's career. The man he's a world-renowned kickboxer. Okay, he's only had 12 MMA fights, and he's 10-2, but he's a 2-division world champion. Okay, we all know what he can do. Okay, he has 8-9 knockouts out of his 10 fights. He lost his first fight. He lost his first fight by submission. He lost another fight by knocked out. Everyone else he's fought, he's either knocked him out or TKO'd him, besides one. So, and that was Jan Blachowicz. And I'm gonna get to that because if Yuri can take him down and wrestle him, because Alex Pereira is trash on the ground, he can't wrestle to save his life. If Yuri can do that, then he has a good chance of beating him. Okay, but that's if Yuri can do that, because Alex Pereira is a big dude. Okay, Yuri's not a small guy himself, but Alex Pereira is like 6'4", 6'5", and very long. So pause. That sounds weird, but
wow, reckless.
I can hear you. So wow yourself. Yuri's gonna have to get in close with him to take him down, and that's if he can do that. So the first fight went a certain way, but that was Yuri coming off a long layoff. This time Yuri has had one fight, and that was back in April against Rakic, who's a good fighter out of Serbia, and he knocked him out in the second round. He's back to his he's back to his ways, and that 17-month layoff in between him winning the belt and fighting Alex, that could have played a factor of why he lost that fight, So with this one, I don't want to go against the grain, but I'm going to say
clubs bangers.
Alex Pereira will be losing by 4th round decision. I'm saying right now, Yuri's gonna win 4th round. You're like a mime, okay? Like a mime. You can't hear you, but we can just see you. 4th round decision. I'm going with that one. Yuri is gonna win. He's gonna win. All right.
So you cannot hear me.
Okay.
You cannot hear me at all. You cannot hear me.
No, I can't hear you.
They can hear me. Everybody else can hear me. I don't know what's going on.
If you can hear Omar, put in the chat, you can hear him.
They say they can hear me.
Now I can hear you.
You can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I didn't do anything. I've just been sitting here.
Well, it's back.
What?
You're good.
Okay, you can hear me? All right. Oh, my
good.
God. Jeez. Okay.
You're good.
Well, good job there. Anyways, you did well. I mean, it's not like all you needed me to do was prompt you. Anyways, so you did good there. I appreciate that. So wow, AP loss. You're going against our boy in the 4th round too. I mean, Yuri usually, if he's going to take somebody out, he's usually going to take him out early, or at least try to, and that's what got him caught last time against AP. So you're thinking he's going to last till the. Okay, all right.
I think the game plan is going to be to wrestle him. Take him that he's not good. When Jan Blachowicz fought him, his first fight at 205, Jan beat him, but Jan was wrestling him, and that was a split decision. It could have gone Jan's way, but I will say, if Yuri takes that blueprint and drags him to those later rounds, he can submit him.
Word. Well, there you all go. Go to your FanDuel, go to your DraftKings, whatever your platform is, and make sure you put in Yuri Prochazka with a 4th round victory. Now, I didn't hear you. I think I missed this. Did you say KO or submission?
I think it says sub, but it can go either way.
Little sub action.
I could waffle. Yeah, a little Subway.
Wow, sub action sounded very.
And I saw Flo posted the sumo wrestler who passed. They honored him on the UFC event this past Saturday. They put his thing up there and talked about him. So the UFC did acknowledge him because he passed last week. Yeah, he passed last week before the Whittaker fight in Saudi Arabia. They honored him that last Saturday. So.
And yeah, that's weird because it said like everybody else said that they could hear me. So I don't know why why you were. Yeah, I don't even know. Whatever. Anyways, all right. What do we got? Don't be a hater. I don't know what's happening right now. Constructive. Oh, yeah, thank you, Dad. Yeah. Oh, always welcome to constructive feedback. That being said, cool. Let us move it on and get your boxing club bangers before we bring in our boy Tony the Savant, who will be in shortly to debate his pound for pound list. Excuse me.
Tony, I love you, but God, that list.
The list was a little suspect when I saw it, so we'll go bring him in just a second. But for now, let's talk about a few of the biggest boxing matches coming up this month of July. What I'm going to do is I'm going to list out all these fights because I'm not sure that you actually want to talk about all of them, and then you give me the club bangers for which ones you want. So starting June 29th, we have Teofimo Lopez, 20-1. Huh? You hear me? We're good? Okay. No, you're good. Teofimo Lopez. Okay. Teofimo Lopez, 20-1, will be going up against, and as you quoted in your email to me about the lineup, a nobody, Steve Claggett, 38-7-2 for Teofimo Lopez's WBO junior welterweight title. The same night, we have Juan Francisco Estrada with a 44-3 record going up against a huge prospect. Some even ranked them in their pound-for-pound list. Jesse, as I said, some people rank him in their pound-for-pound top 10. Yeah, so obviously not. But he's 19. He's 19-0. Jesse Bam Rodriguez. He is actually going to be fighting for the WBC junior bantamweight title, who is actually owned right now by Juan Francisco Estrada. And then finally, July 6th, we have Shakur Stevenson going up against Artem, and I hope not to butcher this, Harutyunyan for the WBC lightweight title.
Spinach artichoke.
artichoke.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. Send your complaints to Clubber D. Shakur Stevenson has a 21-0 record. The other artichoke is 12-1. I call him an artichoke. WBC lightweight title. All right, so there's the three next main fights that are coming up. Start wherever you would like, and I'll control from there.
Well, I'll start with the one that's next week with Shakur Stevenson card. You also got O'Shaquie Foster defending his WBC belt, and he was on my knockout of the year last year. Oh, he's on that card, and also Keyshawn Davis. Shout out to 757 representing Virginia. He's on that card as well. So that's not a bad card that's a good little card. Having. And Teofimo Lopez, Mike brought this up on Tony Savant's channel when we got on the other day. These are fights on ESPN. They're not even promoting this, okay? But Teofimo Lopez, you got him fighting Johnny McNobody. Like, I don't know who. I know, right? I don't know who this guy. Like, who are you fighting, Teofimo? Like, he's been fighting these guys, and they've been close fights, which is crazy. But I got Teofimo's going to win. He's going to.
Yeah, I didn't think we needed a club banger on that one.
No, not even. That's the biggest obvious. Bam's not a prospect. Bam's in my top 10 pound for pound list, and if Bam keeps it up, once he becomes undisputed, Bam Rodriguez is going to probably fight the monster if he keeps moving up. He's at 112 pounds, I believe. I used to weigh that back last week, but I had diarrhea. But anyways, Bam, let's go. Bam already has 2 belts. Okay, so he's trying to get undisputed in that division, and once he does that, he's gonna move up, and then hopefully we'll fight the monster soon. But Bam Rodriguez, he's in my top 10. Like, if you guys want a fighter to watch, get DAZN. Ask your cousin for his log on, you know what I'm saying, or ask somebody, or just pay for it, okay, or just watch Bam Rodriguez fight on Saturday. He's a hell of a good fighter out of Phoenix, Arizona. You know what I'm saying? Omar stuck doing a punch, which is pretty funny. Oh, he's back now. Who's the other fight we had? I got Bam.
Shakur Stevenson. Yeah, I figured you had Bam getting that belt.
Yeah. So what's funny about that Shakur fight? Now, he was gonna fight Frank Martin back in the day, but Frank Martin chose not to fight him and waited a little while to fight Tank. The person Shakur's fighting is the person that Frank Martin fought last, who a lot of people like myself thought he beat Frank Martin. Frank Martin looked like trash before the Tank fight, and it was against this person. And this person got his first loss after they gave it to Frank Martin, but he's not a slouch. He's not a slouch, but I got Shakur Stevenson winning. Shakur didn't look good his last fight because of a shoulder injury or whatever he was dealing with, but all he was doing was just hitting and running. But this fight, I think Shakur should showcase his skills and show everybody why he's a 2-division unified world champion, and why my master plan in boxing is going to be Tank is going to fight Lomo, and they're saying that's going to be for the Linear and Ring Magazine belt, which it should be for 135. Once Shakur gets through with this fight, he's going to fight Lomo's countryman who beat Navarrete. That's going to be for both the belts, and then the winner of those 2 fights fight each other next year around this time for undisputed at 135. That's my master plan. If it doesn't happen, I'm gonna talk to somebody. I'm gonna make it happen. Okay, but that's what boxing needs, especially for those lighter weights and all you Tank fans. Y'all want that to happen, because now at age, he'll be 30 in a couple months. Now he thinks belts matter, so now he wants to fight the best. So there you go.
Well, thank you for all of that excellent analysis. Wasn't even a need for any club banger sounds because of the fact that we all knew where you were going in all 3 of those fights. But just for dexterity purposes, I just want to do it one time.
Clubs, bangers, clubs.
There we go. Just had to do it just for keep us on track a little bit. So that being said, thank you for all that. And yeah, as you mentioned, our boy O'Shaquie Foster will be fighting, and he's no slouch here, Robson Conceição from Brazil. So that should be a really good fight.
Robson fought I think he's fought Shakur. He's fought a couple other lightweights. He's a good fighter. He's a really good fighter. O'Shaquie's at 130. So I wonder if he's gonna move to 135 up there where Shakur is. Who knows? But O'Shaquie Foster, man, that guy, that's one of the fights of the year I saw last year. Probably one of the better fights I've seen in quite some time.
And that was my next question for you: is when Shakur keeps his belt, what are plans for him next? What would you do next if you were him?
Oh, like I said, he needs to fight Dennis Barechik. I think I said his name right. The guy who just beat Navarrete for the WBO, because he has the WBC, Tank has the WBA, Lomo has the IBF. So you got 4 people, 4 belts. Each of them fight each other.
Get together.
There we go. You know what I'm saying? And this is Shakur. This is a very significant fight for Shakur. This is his last fight on Top Rank. So is he going to stay with ESPN or is he going to take money and go somewhere else? He told Tank he wants to fight him, but he doesn't want to make a deal with PBC and fight him a 5-fight deal and him fighting him on the 5th fight. He wants to fight him now. So Mayweather's offered his olive branch to Shakur, saying, hey, I like what you're doing. Sign with me. Because he hates Tank right now. So he wants anybody to beat Tank. And also Eddie Hearn from Matchroom, DAZN, he's recently been saying, oh, yeah, Shakur he's just an amazing fighter. That's my English accent right there. But
wow.
That's it right
that
there.
Was bad.
Shout out to Paddington the Bear. I see you out there.
Paddington Bear.
And
Do you know where he came from? Come on, tell me you remember. Please remember. Please remember where he came from.
The cartoon?
Paddington.
No, where he came from?
No, remember Peru.
Peru?
Yeah, he immigrated from Peru to England. Like, that's his actual origin story.
Oh, kind of like all the Jamaicans over there and stuff. Okay, like Lennox Lewis. Okay.
Because you remember when we used to do the podcast and you would say Paddington. You remember I would put in that little song? I got the theme song and I put it in. It would be like, Paddington, he came from Peru. It was like, what? It was a whole backstory. It's amazing. I thought you remembered that, but I don't know why you don't.
No, I don't. I don't know how you got from Peru to London, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't either, but that's neither here nor there. It was a theme song, and it was like, he came from Peru.
Okay, you know what? I'm not even going to go there.
To be with me and you. Paddington, Paddington. All right, anyways, that's enough of that. Okay, that's our inside joke, y'all. We've been having that inside joke for a long time now. So, anyways, if there was a comment, I didn't see it yet, so give me one moment. I did not see Franklin's Magic Phil. All right, so we got. Thank you to everybody on the live stream right now. I see a bunch of y'all coming in, and that is the right time to be coming in because we are talking boxing right now, and we are going to welcome in here shortly Tony the Savant, and him and Clubber D are going to debate Tony's pound for pound list. So we'll bring him in just a few minutes whenever he gets to the waiting room. I just sent him the link, so he should be on shortly. That being said, we are going to get into a little bit of the fan mailbag before he gets here. So, first fan mailbag question, and this comes from Kaizan, and this is from Tokyo, Japan. Awesome, thank you. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I went back and found that email. Did you remember the other place that we're huge in, aside from China, was Belgium?
Belgium?
We were big in Belgium. We were ranked in the top 50 in Belgium. Yeah.
Let me get a waffle. Give me one.
In Belgium, yeah. That's what I'm saying. And so in Belgium, they speak 3 languages. They speak French, German, and Dutch. Now, I was born in Germany, so I got a little bit of connection there. But, I thought that was pretty cool. And
since it's American soil, get out of here.
You know what? You don't have to say all that. It's just been a fun fact.
You say that shit all the time. Get out of here.
Now, American soil. I will say... because we rank so highly in China and we've been ranking week after week after week, I have to show off some of my Mandarin skills as I used to practice Mandarin. So ni hao, wo shi min, Omar. That is, hello, my name is Omar in Mandarin. So thank you and shout out to all our Chinese fans out there. We appreciate y'all, and everybody subscribe at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. Subscribe there, catch all the new videos from Clubber D and myself. Clubber D has a new short out on Deontay Wilder, over 400 views on YouTube, over 200 on TikTok. So go check him out. By the way, go ahead and subscribe to his TikTok account, Clubber.D on TikTok.
I'm gonna start dancing pretty soon. Awesome. I'm gonna start doing those little staged pranks. I'm doing all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing all that. Just check me out on there. pretty soon I might because I stripped back in the day. My stage name was Stretch Mark, but that's another story, neither here nor there.
Stretch Mark.
We're gonna go back to what we're used to talking about.
That's Stretch Mark. All right. So, anyways, from Kaizan in Tokyo, Japan, he asked, Usyk was recently declared to be stripped of, or he was going to forfeit, it doesn't matter, same thing, he was going to be stripped, of his IBF title, which will now be fought for between Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois. So what are your thoughts on the belt being taken from Usyk, and what are your preliminary thoughts on the fight between Joshua and Dubois? Thank you for your question.
Well, I mean, I mentioned this was it our last one? Because it was back when Dubois fought Philip.
It was a couple shows ago.
Yeah. I said they're going to strip Usyk. It was the same card. Same card as Fury and Usyk, because the IBF was going to strip him because they want that's their poster board. What they wanted: Joshua versus Philip Orridge. I can't pronounce his name, but anyways, they wanted that fight. Dubois got the upset. Hergovich, there you go. Dubois got the upset, so now it's Joshua versus Dubois, and the IBF, Eddie Hearn been pushing for that, so we know that Usyk is tied up with Fury, so you can't have that fight. So they stripped him. They're gonna have this belt, and this is a way for Joshua to be say, hey, I'm a 3-time champion. So that's if he wins. And they had a face-off today, and they almost came to blows in a little face-off, which is pretty funny. But they're fighting in September. I mean, to be honest with you, in the heavyweight division, if it's not Fury or Usyk, nobody really cares at this point. At this juncture right now, nobody cares about anything but Fury and Usyk. Let's get that rematch. Yeah. Let's run that. Now, they get the winner, most likely, but at this juncture in heavyweight division, if it ain't Fury, it ain't Usyk, everything's chopped liver.
Now, this is where I was going to go with that, because, yes, you're right? The winner of that fight was supposed to fight the winner of Usyk and Fury so they can then unify the belts and all of that good stuff. It came out today. Anthony Joshua said in the news that he doesn't care if Usyk wins. He wants to fight Fury first. He said it's been too long that they've been waiting for this fight. Fury's been ducking him, and he said he wants that fight even if it's not for the belts. I mean, does that make sense? Or should he stop wasting time and go after the belts, right?
Well, it's because Joshua is a smart man, okay? You got people that will say that so-and-so is the face of boxing. This person's the face of boxing. Tank is the face of boxing. Ryan Garcia, all these other people. When you look at the money, Joshua's part of the top 4 of most money made on the Forbes list of boxers, okay? He fights more than once a year like these other guys I'm sorry. And they want to fight at Wembley Stadium again. They want to put 90,000 in Wembley. If they fight in Wembley or Tottenham or somewhere like that where they've done before, he fought Carlos Takam at I think Wembley or some one of them stadiums, and Carlos Takam is like who nobody knows who he is, but he put like 70,000 in seats. Exactly. When he fought Klitschko, he had about 90,000 or whatever in those seats. So he's used to selling out these big arenas. So he needs a dance partner for that. And that essentially is their Mayweather Pacquiao. That is who they need to have fight over in the United Kingdom. Okay. So that's why he's going for that fight, because he knows there's a lot of money in that fight. And Fury's not looking so well. Fury is coming off this loss. He has a rematch, yes, but there's video of Fury walking all hands and knees out of a bar in Ireland. I don't know where he was. England somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, he was walking all hands and knees out of a bar, drunk as a skunk, looking terrible. So, that's the fight. And Joshua is smart with that fight, because that's basically saying when it was Fury, Joshua, Wilder, we wanted to see those 3. Some of them mixed. Wilder finally got done with Fury, but he never got to do it with Joshua. Pause. And now that Fury and Joshua, they're back very, very relevant. Even if it's come off a loss, that's still a big draw over there. I caught it. Pause on that too. But so it's
reckless.
Well, yeah, that's a fight the British boxing fans want to see, and I want to see it too. They might flop. I haven't been to a fight in a while. Okay, the Ball and Buds budget has been pretty low for your boy Clubber D. Okay, because I haven't been in a lot of these fights like I used to be going. Like I was overseas for a couple fights. I was here locally for some fights. I was in Vegas for some fights. I have not been to a fight in over a year and a half. This is a little ridiculous. Since you started messing with Flo, Canteen, Hot Take Jake, the budget has been low for your boy Clubber D. Shout out to them, because much love out to them. Bottom Line Sports, check them out every Tuesday. They got a great show. Check them out on Facebook, YouTube, all the good stuff. Bottom Line Sports. But your boy hasn't been going in no fights, okay? I'm going to talk to my publicist. We got to get this thing straightened out, because I need to start going to these fights again and be in front row and talking to some of y'all's baby mamas and mothers, okay? This is ridiculous.
Definitely tell Bronson I will be in touch with him, Sir Bronson, and we'll figure out that schedule for you. You got a new publicist.
Taking too much off the top. Pause.
Whoa, it's reckless as all get out. All right. Next question we have from
shout to where my man. Hold on, Omar. Bam! Thank you. Get me some tickets. Please get me some tickets.
I know. We've been slacking. What happened was, back when we had the podcast and only the podcast, we didn't have to as much to spend. So we were able to lavishly send Clubber D abroad to nice places and have him sitting, ringside. But then we started going live on TV. Expenses went up, more money, more problems, and now Clubber D is sitting at home most of the time. I apologize. Yeah. We will get that rectified.
My travel CPAP machine got dust on it.
Travel CPAP machine. All right, the next question from our fan mailbag comes from Bare Knuckle Not for Chumps. I mean, I would say so. I wouldn't want to be even a bare knuckle fighting contest. So anyways, this comes from this person, and they're from Tampa, Florida. And I guess that's because they are wanting to talk about the Jake Paul fight. But it says here, Clubber D, we see that the Tyson-Jake Paul fight has been delayed, which is now bringing up a bare-knuckle contest between Jake Paul and Mike Perry. First of all, can you please tell us why the fight was delayed? And also, because most people know it was due to Tyson having to delay the fight, why is this old-ass man still fighting? And that's a quote from the mailbag, old-ass man. That ain't me saying it, Mike, so I'm sorry. Clubber D, what are your thoughts on this?
Jake Paul and Mike Perry, they're boxing, though. They're not bare-knuckling, right? They're boxing, right?
No, they're boxing. Yeah, they're boxing. Yeah, this guy likes bare-knuckle. Yeah, this guy.
So Mike Perry has boxed before. He fought on that, it was a Triller, whatever that app is. He fought on that when Rampage had his team and Shannon Briggs had his team. He actually won that fight against a boxer. We all know Mike Perry from the UFC. Mike Perry is the king of bare knuckle fighting right now. You can ask Luke Rockholz. He knocked his tooth out if he quit. He beat Eddie Alvarez. He's beaten a lot of people in bare knuckle. So he's the man right now in bare knuckle fighting. Now, his boxing skills aren't bad. The problem is Mike Perry fights at, 185-ish, I think. 170, 185.
Yeah, let me check that.
Jake Paul has been trained to fight heavyweight, so he's coming in as a big dude. He's coming as a lot bigger guy, and Jake Paul it is. He can box. He's not a bad boxer. He's not terrible. So I'll let you know who I think is going to win later when I kind of get to see closer to the fight what they look like. But and Tampa, is that my brother? Was that my brother? His black ass get on?
I was about to say, I was wondering if this was your brother, because didn't your brother say he might be Sting at that contest?
Yeah, he says he was sitting up in the Raptors watching that fight up there. He's going now. I wish I can go. Hey, what was the other question? It was about this fight or Mike Tyson. So Mike Tyson. So they had
Mike Tyson. Why is his old ass still fighting? And by the way, I think it was a stomach ulcer to answer the question.
Yeah, he had an ulcer where they had to stop the plane for him to see what was wrong with him. And he's had ulcers in the past. That's not a new thing. But I personally, it's like this. He's 58 years old. Sit your old ass down. You just don't need to be fighting.
So old ass.
There's no need to be fighting. You have money. You have a gym out in Abu Dhabi.
What are you doing?
Gyms here. You got the edibles, the ear edibles. You know what I'm saying? So Mike Tyson.
What are you doing?
It's just and people were saying that the contract were the later he went in the fight, the more money he'd get. So I don't know if that's true, but a lot of fighters had said that about the contract. I guess they maybe saw it, but take it with a grain of salt. But I'm just not. I never liked to fight. I always said, and I'll say it, I was at Mike Tyson's last professional boxing fight, not the Roy Jones, whatever that was. I was at the one in DC when he lost to Johnny McNobody in the 12th round or 8th round, whatever it was. But I was at that fight. He looked terrible. So I don't want to see him fight again. And yes, we all know we have the allure of, yes, it's Tyson. He can knock him out, yada, yada, yada. But this is not Tyson from 1990, 91, 92, 93. This is not him. You know what I'm saying? This is a different Tyson. This is an older Tyson. So you can't be like, it's the same guy,
This they say nobody except me says listening to too much Joe Rogan and Dana White in his ear. Mike need a chill.
You do.
I mean, I'm sorry. If they're having to stop a whole damn plane because you're having ulcer problems, you should not be fighting, sir. I don't care if you are the baddest man on the planet, which you are. This is not good for your health. And I feel like this fight's probably not going to happen. It's supposed to be rescheduled for November 15th, but it's probably not going to happen.
Jackal, I don't know if that's Jackal from the Bruce Willis movie or that Jackal. I don't know what Jackal told you. He's a top 5 boxer. What? What? Yo, to be honest with you, if Jake Paul knocks out or beats up Mike Perry really, really bad, he's going to get a lot of respect. He's going to get a lot of respect from me. But if he does that to Mike Perry, he'll get more respect.
From a boxer. Yeah.
He'll get more respect beating Mike Perry than Mike Tyson to me, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah, of course.
This ain't like 42-year-old Mike Tyson. This ain't 45-year-old Mike Tyson. This is 58-year-old Mike Tyson. Okay.
And as Mike Perry said, he's looking to mess up Jake Paul's payday. The only reason he took this fight is because he wants to knock Jake Paul out so he can't fight Mike Tyson no more.
I'll say this, Flo. Yes,
which is tremendous.
A 20-second clip of Mike Tyson sparring does look good, but that's not the whole minute of the clip. That's only 20 seconds they put on the internet. If anyone watches that fight against Roy Jones Jr., both of them look like dog shit. Okay, both of them look like dog shit. It was a small ass ring. They look terrible. I'm sorry. It's not that they're saying they're too old. They can't move like that. And my condolences to Roy Jones Jr. Just lost his son. Unfortunately, he took his own life. Shout out to Roy Jones Jr. You know what I'm saying? It's him and his family. Okay, but Mike Perry. If he beats Mike Perry and he beats him soundly, he has my respect. When he beat Anderson Silva, when he beat Nate Diaz, because Nate Diaz. When I saw Nate Diaz punch, it was like this. I said, he didn't even turn his punches. Oh my God. When I saw the sparring, I said, I knew he was gonna beat him. When I saw him spar against when I saw the sparring footage of Tyron Woodley working up to the fight, and that was Mayweather's trainer that Tyron Woodley was working with. Okay. When I saw that footage, oh no. Jake Paul gonna whoop his ass. I already knew. So that's why I kind of wait to see these guys when they fight them, how they look in their sparring and things like that. If they picked up the boxing. Mike Perry's only had one boxing fight, and he won. He fought a pro boxer, but I want to see how he looks because you could do UFC, you could do bare knuckle, but that's not boxing. That's totally different. Because bare knuckle, you cut real easy, you get sliced up really fast, and after that, you know what I'm saying, it's a very close clinch. Damn near clinch type fighting. You can't do that in boxing.
Okay, so you're not going to count. Okay, so you're not even counting that nearly anything like boxing. Okay. Okay. Now, can I get your? Now, look at this comment, please. Oh, good. Jackal says, I think if he beats Mike Perry, he should get his rightful fight against Canelo, and I think he will win that as well.
Hello, Jackal. Jackal, you're a good guy. He might as well fight. You know what? He should fight Deontay Wilder if it's at heavyweight, right? I think he should fight him too. Fight Joshua, fight them all. If he can do that, woo!
I can't believe
That's a good one.
I mean,
but you know what? He's on to something because I'll put it like this, Jack. You have a point because Canelo doesn't like to fight anybody. He said he would never fight somebody like Jake Paul, but then he said he would fight him later. So I can see them not having Canelo fight somebody and just keep ducking Benavidez and go ahead and fight Jake Paul instead. I can see that. I can weirdly see that in about a year or two.
Right, but could you see Jake Paul defeating Canelo? No.
No.
Not in a. There's not a snowball's chance in hell.
It would be it would be Joshua versus Ngannou type stuff if they fought, because Joshua wasn't playing with Ngannou. He put him down with they should have. So I would definitely done that.
Flo says he wasn't in good shape in that Jones fight. Nobody except me says, "Where's Roger Mayweather when you need him?" Which is hilarious. And then Flo chimes in again with, fight all the old heavyweights. Hey, at least he would be making money from that fight, and I think that's the whole point of that.
Yeah, so it's just a cash grab. That's all it is, cash grab. And I'm not his last pay-per-view Jake Paul had didn't sell that well. So it's kind of on a downward slope. Hit my mic. He's on a downward slope as far as his pay-per-view buys. So I think he kind of went for the gusto going with Mike Tyson, to be honest with you, because a lot of people aren't tuning in as much because they know it's a spectacle. It's not good boxing. It's the thing with boxing, and I was hoping Tony would come on.
I don't know what happened. I sent him the link.
We're going to go through his top 10. We're going to go through his top 10. The thing about boxing nowadays is that it used to be a sport where you had the niche fans who really love boxing. That was mostly the masses of people who love boxing. And then the casuals would watch, like, oh, wow, Tyson's fighting, let me tune in. Or Roy Jones is fighting, cool, let me tune in. Things like that. That's cool, that's fine. But now the casuals have a voice with other social media outlets, and they say some of the dumbest stuff. And because that's the majority of people saying it because they're not really boxing fans, the boxing community is starting to listen to that and grift to cater to those people. And that's the bad thing in boxing right now. Like, growing up, boxing, every fighter wanted to fight the best. Now it's like, oh, well, that fighter, he drives a Lamborghini, so he has to be better. What are you talking about? Like, you shouldn't justify saying, I don't want to get the belts. Boxing's not about getting belts. No, it's your legacy. That's the reason why you fight, to put your name in the books. So people, the casuals are, there's nothing wrong being casual. It's just like they're being the voices of the community, unfortunately, and the boxers are starting to listen, and the commissions are starting to listen. So some of these fighters are they're acting too diva-ish, acting like they don't want to fight anymore. So, and that's a story I might do a short or something like that later about PBC fighters who have all lost when they fight fighters that don't fight at PBC. It's a long list of fighters, from Gary Russell to Errol Spence to Sabril Matias to Charlo when he fought Canelo. All these fighters, Deontay Wilder, they're cool when they fight somebody. When they fight a real competition, they get their ass whooped. Stephen Fulton fighting the monster. So there's a lot of fighters who cross the street and got that ass whooped. So that's the problem with boxing. You got to have the best fight the best. If you're not here to do that, go to celebrity boxing. Go to Tiddlywinks or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think we've talked about this ad nauseum. I think that we have discussed this so much that it kind of makes my ears bleed when these casuals come on and discuss things that they don't know anything of what they're talking about. And it just seems like the farther we get away from the golden age of boxing, not only does the sweet science dissipate, not only does it get more decrepit from the less use, but also we don't get to see the prime fights that we want to see when people are actually in their prime and not just aging each other out or putting clauses or draining people or rehydration and all this other bullshit, not crossing the street and everything else that happens with these diva fighters these days. So, all right, well, thank you for that. Next mailbag question from MMA BMF Mobster out of Atlanta, the ATL. And they ask, on July 6th in California, there is a boxing match scheduled between two former UFC popular fighters, Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal. What are your thoughts on this fight, Clubber D?
I'm glad you left that off the fighters when you named all the fighters that are boxing tomorrow. I mean, sorry, not tomorrow, but
that's in
next Saturday. It's next Saturday. It's next week. I'm glad you left that one off because they had like a press conference in California and they got to scrapping. Nate Diaz's folks started fighting with Jorge Masvidal's people, and Nate Diaz's trainer bloodied up one of the fighters that was messing with Masvidal. I mean, it's just it's just a thing. And the thing about that fight is like the build up to that fight, because the undercard, they have some decent fighters fighting undercard. Fernando Vargas, who was one of my when I really started getting into boxing, Fernando Vargas, him, Floyd Mayweather, David Reed. That was the Olympic gold medalist that year, and I was a big fan of all those fighters. If you remember, David Reed had the little eye thing, fought Trinidad and all that stuff. But Fernando Vargas, when he fought De La Hoya, he got caught with steroids or whatever. Still lost that fight in that fight with Trinidad that took years off his life. But he almost won that fight. It ain't stopping in 12. He has 3 sons that box now, and his son, his youngest, is fighting Ryan Garcia's younger brother. And they were going back and forth, spar war of words, you know what I'm saying? You got Ryan Garcia was up there talking shit, saying like, your dad's a juicer and da-da-da. And I'm like, bro, I know you ain't talking. But they have fought. Like, I know, why you talking about Fernando Vargas, a legend, and you ain't even had a belt. Like, how can you talk about him juicing when you? But anyways, so Ryan's younger brother's fighting Fernando Vargas' son. They know each other. They don't like each other because they fought in an amateur. So that's actually a decent fight on that card, which I'm eager to see. But yes, Nate Diaz has one fight boxing experience. You got Jorge Masvidal, who is a hell of a street fighter. Let's not even. I'm giving him his flowers. He is a hell of a street fighter. Kimbo even gave him his flowers.
Kimbo, yep.
You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. He was towards the end of his career, a good MMA fighter. He wasn't bad. It's just, he just had to fight anybody at any weight class, and his record reflects that. But towards the end of his career, that's when he turned it on, when he knocked out Darren Till. Then it skyrocketed from there, and then a knockout with Ben Askren made him high level. You know what I'm saying? So he's done a lot as far as a businessman. He has bare knuckle MMA, which is good. But he's doing boxing now against Nate Diaz in their rematch of the BMF belt.
I like it. I like it. I like it a lot.
I don't want to pay for it. I don't want to pay for it.
Oh no, I'm not paying for it. I didn't say I was going to pay for it.
I'm gonna say Nate Diaz because he's more No, Club, taking it back. Nate Diaz's face, him and his brother's face, has that scar tissue on it. It's just terrible. They bleed easily. So just like the first fight when it stopped because of a cut.
Clubs, bangers. Clubs, bangers.
Masvidal, round 7. Ref stoppage.
Woo! I agree with you. You're right. Those cuts always get in the way. And Diaz in that BMF fight obviously was not able to continue because they stopped it because of the cut, even though we may think that doctor should just blow off at that point. But he didn't. So we got to take the decision for what it's worth, even though we all think it's bullshit. So that being said, on to our last mailbag question. Before we get one from me, because I have my own question for Cobra D. But this last question is coming from, this is a very interesting username here. Trumping PEDs. Now, I'm glad you all turned in for the fireworks tonight. I want y'all to go ahead and subscribe at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. As we always have fireworks with Clubber D and myself, and hoping that we get Tony the Savant on here for some more fireworks.
I'm a fireworks his goddamn list. I know that. For
pound debate. But if not, even if you don't get that debate, before the debate tonight, stay tuned in with us because I know you're going to see those fireworks tonight. That's must-see TV tonight as well. I know I'm going to get some popcorn and be laughing my ass off after this when Biden and Trump go at it. But trumping PEDs, Ryan Garcia is retiring. Instead of letting them get the fan mailbag says letting him get the credit for suspending him, as he was suspended for the PEDs that he popped dirty for. on Thursday. Garcia also forfeited the $1.2 million from his match against Haney, and the win was overturned to a no contest. Clubber D, how do you feel about Ryan Garcia retiring instead of taking the suspension, even though he still has to take it? And also, how do you feel on his prospects going forward?
It's just semantics. I mean, if anyone who follows Ryan Garcia and what he says on Twitter, he's full of shit. He says a lot of stuff. They cheated. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, he's another one. So this is the thing with Ryan Garcia. They did a plea deal so he got a year. So that's fine. He only fights probably once a year, anyways. They turned to a no contest. Now, today, as of today, he said that it was the trainer Scooter, who's a world-renowned boxing trainer, help you lose weight to make you make weight. Gave him something, and when him and his family has started doing a blame game, it was that. The two amino acids in a carb company. The carb company guy came over. He was on Fox News and everything. It's like, no, we tested our lot. It's not our lot. So there's nothing in our stuff. The other company, the Nutra, whatever, are thinking about taking legal actions against Ryan Garcia. Now he's coming out saying he wants to talk about the trainer. Because at first it was Ashwagandha. He said, this is what made me pop hot. Ashwagandha came out and said, no, it ain't us. Don't try to say that. You'll get screwed if you say that false stuff.
Whole damn supplement came out.
So you cannot keep blaming other things. And then now he's saying the trainer, and the trainer on June 2nd had an interview saying, this is what I did with him. This is stuff we did. Here is the lot that we used this is the lot. He emailed VADA the lot that he gave him the supplement. So they already know. They test the whole batch, not just that particular thing, to make sure nothing else was tainted. He said that straight to VADA. So he's already been cleared. So the fact that he's using the trainer last minute as a fall guy, he's probably going to get sued for that, because you can't keep saying I don't take supplements. Only take a little bit of supplements. I refuse to tell VADA what supplements I'm using. Okay, you cannot keep doing that stuff. So that's the problem.
I think the Jackal may be Flo's burner account. I'm not sure what's happening here, but the Jackal says they screwed Ryan. It's got to be a conspiracy.
There's no lines to read between, okay? If misery loves company, tell Flo, enjoy the guest room. Because put it like this: if you cheat and you keep pointing fingers, and each time you point a finger, it gets cut, you just got to say, take the year suspension, just come back to boxing. It's not that hard. And, if he's such a religious guy, why are these religious people talking about him, all the bad things he says about people's wives and girlfriends? They like to ignore that stuff and all his actions, okay? So let's not be blind to all that crap and be completely accountable for him. He's a grown man, okay? He cheated. So what? Move forward. Devin Haney took the fight. He knew that he had that stuff in the system and still chose to fight him. That's all Devin Haney. There's a lot of money at hand. And Oscar De La Hoya, you need to pay both of them, because he's pretty slow on paying them. I've read that, but that has to work itself.
And that's where, that's actually a question that Flo had. So have Haney and Garcia really not gotten paid? And if so, how is it normal to wait this long?
You got to understand, it's through DAZN, and they got the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view takes time for them to pay them, but I don't know the contract. What the problem is, someone with Garcia's money has to go to Devin Haney and the commission, and New York commission, and it has to go to WBC. So they have to weed that out. But that's on De La Hoya. That's Golden Boy. That's his promoter. So De La Hoya came out saying fuck Devin Haney and that. Like, shut up, De La Hoya. Shit, go back to wearing fishnets. You know what I'm saying? So he's right. He's first he's against Ryan. First he's against this person. He's always against Canelo. He tried to point out, well, Ryan got a year, but Canelo got 6 months, and either way, they all cheated. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So
yeah, we know, Flo. We know it's not you. I was just joking.
Jesus Christ, gullible. But it's the Ryan Garcia situation for me personally. Ryan, you have a big social media backing. Everybody likes you, or the younger folks like you, and some adults that don't like accountability like you also. Keep that momentum, keep training, just come back next year. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not that hard, but I hate when I see people try to make excuses for a grown adult and say, oh, yeah, no, he's nice. And then he's doing X, Y, and Z over here. But you ignore that, but you're cool with him just because he's, he says, praise Jesus after he says, I'm going to bang someone's girlfriend, and you can do nothing about it. That's cool, because he said, praise Jesus. Get out of here with that, man. I'm not doing it.
So the Jackal continues. Boxing got this one completely wrong, and now more than ever holding back money, making a fight in Davis versus Ryan 2 instead of making them wait a year. So,
well,
obviously a Ryan Garcia fan.
He's a Ryan Garcia fan, but he doesn't watch boxing, because I just said the top 4 fighters that make money in Forbes list of fighters, Ryan Garcia ain't on it. Okay, he's not in no one's pound for pound. Boxing can keep moving on without Ryan Garcia. He's not a major figure. He has no world titles. The time he could fight for a world title, he couldn't make weight. So boxing doesn't really care about Ryan Garcia. It's going to keep on going without him. Okay, let's be clear. His pay-per-view buys, he had one good one with Tank. When he lost that fight, his following fight against Oscar Duarte, he only had 5,000 people show up and had terrible numbers on the zone. So let's be clear that Ryan Garcia is not the next Roy Jones Jr. Okay? He's a good prospect. He can get better. But don't act like, let's not crown him like he's got a belt or done something. He hasn't. Because if he took it serious, he would have made weight and all this, and he whooped Devin Haney's ass. And we would talk about him being the WBC champion, fighting anyone else. So let's not bring all this other crap in there. All right. So think about it. I know he's your YouTube god, but this is boxing. I hit my mic again. This is boxing. All right. So real boxing fans tolerate Ryan Garcia's antics, but it's not like he's Anthony Joshua or somebody, a heavy hitter like Fury or somebody like that. He doesn't pull numbers like that. He just doesn't. Okay. You probably stole his fight too. Go ahead, Omar.
Yeah, no, you're good. Hey, Flo, at least you stand 10 toes down and you stick with what you say, and I at least say that's good on you, and you got good morals at least. Yeah, he's probably never going to read it though, so don't expect a reply. Yeah. But I appreciate you anyways. Shout out to D Clubs, the Ridge.
Oh, my brother. Shout out to my brother.
In. Shout out. The Jackal had another hold on. This is the one. I do think you have to appoint, but I do want to ask you, as Gervonta Davis, Tank, gets closer to beating Floyd's undefeated record, that Floyd will try to cheat him. I see he seems jealous. Is this Jake? Is this hot take Jake between
right Tank's record, and then right Tank's titles, not regular, right his titles also, and think that Floyd would ever even think to get jealous of him before he even do that. Floyd was one of the best lightweights of all time. Before he became Money Mayweather, when he was Pretty Boy Floyd beating up Arturo Gatti and Diego Corrales, people like that, heavy hitters. That's when you know you don't know boxing to even write that. Okay. So look, this is what you should do. Go like this. Look at your nails. They're dirty. Clean them. Come back and write something constructively. That's nice. All right. Your first warning.
That's gotta be hot. That's gotta be hot take Jake, because he made that same, that's it, hot take Jake's burner. He made that same statement on the show.
You cannot say that. There's no way.
You had to destroy. It's not even close. He's only 30-0. He would still have to win another 20 fights in a row just to match his record. Like, what are we talking about?
He'll be 30 years old before he fights somebody meaningful. 30. Right.
Yeah,
look where Floyd was when he was 30 years old. What he did already.
And the people he fought.
Exactly. And his resume. So stop. Wipe your nose too. It's probably running.
Well, I guess, I'm not sure what happened to Tony the Savant. I sent him the link about 40 minutes ago. I've hit him up 4 or 5 times since then. Thought he was going to come on. Maybe he started streaming. He's always recording, which I'm not mad at you. Hey, keep doing your thing. But I told him 7:30, and that's right when I sent the link was 7:30. So we were hoping to have him on. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it, but we are going to go over his pound for pound list that he sent in. Before we get to that, there is one more note I wanted to make, because we do know that WWE and UFC, now under the TKO Corporation, are now partnering on a lot of events. For instance, they've been sending people to each other's events. They're going to start working in other ways together. But one of the ways this weekend, WWE superstar Shinsuke Nakamura, one of my favorites, will be in the corner for a very huge up-and-coming prospect for UFC, Ray Tizura, who will be fighting Carlos Hernandez. So we don't really need a club banger or anything. I just wanted to point out that Shinsuke would be in his corner. And Shinsuke was a former MMA fighter himself with a 3-1 record.
Fought in Pride. Well, I mean, the crossovers happened quite a bit. They've had Jake Paul Logan Paul hold up a thing saying Dominic Mysterio is my best friend, something like that. You've had Rey Mysterio in the crowd before, so they've kind of ever since they bought the whatever, and also they've had Michael Chandler on Raw say I want to fight with Conor McGregor. So that's they've been trying to work in unison, and I think Saudi Arabia, I think UFC was just there the first time this past weekend, but WWF or E were there before, so they're kind of working with
WWE has plans now in the works to go perform at the Sphere as well, which is where UFC is going to have their first fight coming up in September. So anyways, I just thought that was a cool note and wanted to get your thoughts on that. All right. I mean, it sounds pretty cool. I really wish Tony was here. I wanted to get y'all's debate going on, but it looks like it's not going to happen.
I'm ready to hear Tony's list. I know it, but
well, I'm gonna list it out. I'm gonna list it out for the fans watching at home. Tony, I wish you were here to defend yourself, brother, but we're gonna have to go on what you had because it's in the list, baby. So Tony the Savant's boxing pound for pound list goes a little something like this. We will start with just the first three because I know that you're going to have some sort of point of contention here. So I'm going to list out the first three, and we'll do that. We'll do three, and then we'll do the next three, and then we'll do the last four. Cool.
I just pulled it up on one of my pages, so I'm kind of looking at it right now. So I can.
Awesome.
Go ahead. You're good. Yeah.
Awesome. So his pound for pound list at number 1, he has Terrence Crawford. At number 2, he has Alexander Usyk, who recently obviously beat Tyson Fury. And at number 3, he has Devin Haney, the recently reinstated, even though he still lost technically. I mean, we all saw it, but right, it was reversed because of the PEDs and Garcia. So Haney is his number 3. Let's start with those 3 and how you feel about that.
All right. So any boxing top 3 should be in any order. You can defend each person, kind of argue each person why they should be at that level. But for me personally, I have Usyk, Bud, and Inoue, the monster. Okay. These 3 people are 2-division undisputed. Okay. When I say undisputed, means they got all the belts, all 4 major sanctioned bodies. They got all 4 belts. Okay. Now, you can argue that Inoue hasn't fought the same toughest opposition as the others. So that's why I don't have him as my number 1, but I still pay respect because he's demolished just about everybody's fought. And Stevie Fulton, Louis Neary, all those guys are ex-champions. Those are really legit fighters. Now, Devin Haney said he's retired for a year, so I didn't even put him on my list. I took Devin Haney away. And even though he popped for Peds, I still kind of, it's my man Josh down there. Someone actually with some common sense. Oh, so is that you? Okay. Shout out to Josh, 86 Boxing. You guys want some real boxing news? This guy right here, man. He does deep dives into the old school boxing. Josh is that guy, and he interviews a lot of up-and-comers too.
Hey, I watched the stream with him and his buddy the other day. They were going out on the old school boxing. I was like, I was watching. I was thoroughly impressed with their knowledge. So shout out to them for real.
We'll get you on pretty soon, Josh. We'll get you on pretty soon.
Oh, we need to. Got to get him on the next boxing one. That'd be great. But Flo was asking me to put the list up. Unfortunately, Flo, Tony didn't have it in actual list form. He hadn't finished the blog, so he only sent it to me in a Facebook message. So I only have it on my paper. But what I will do for you is I will display the ESPN pound for pound list that they have. And so let me add that to the stage real quick. Here we go. And then we'll look at their top 3. They have Usyk at number 1, Terrence Crawford at number 2, and Inoue at number 3. That's following exactly what you said.
That's what I have. Yep. That's what I have right there. Yep. Now, the only reason I said Haney is because the last performance, even though I love Haney, he's in my if Haney didn't say he retired for a year, he'd still be in my list, but he just wouldn't be at 3. Okay. So
yeah, I
I'll
think
put
the
that
three.
right
I think
there.
the three's a little high,
It's high for him.
even if nothing else than the fact that, again, even though PEDs were involved, we saw him get caught by multiple hooks from Ryan Garcia.
He got caught, and a lot of people do memes, but you got to understand, Haney didn't get knocked out. He fought. He stayed the whole fight. Okay, so he did not.
Right.
He didn't quit like Ryan did against Tank. He fought the whole fight. Every round from 2 to 7, 2 to 8, Haney won those rounds. Okay, if you look at it, I watched the fight twice already. Haney won those rounds. Each round that he didn't get knocked down in, he won. Okay, minus the first. But you know, it was a stretch where he lapsed in judgment and just got lazy in there, and Ryan took advantage. And Ryan did what Ryan's supposed to do, knocked him out. But when someone doesn't make weight by 3 pounds, you think they're going to come in tired. You don't have the same stamina if you're overweight or you didn't make weight. So that just proves in with the cheating, whatever, you know, is what it is. So yeah, Haney, I took him out my list because he said he's retired. So let's keep it moving. All
right, cool.
Who does he have fourth? 456.
So number 4, he has Canelo Alvarez. At number 5, he has Dmitry Bivol, and at number 6, he has Artur Beterbiev.
Here's the problem with
do you
that.
think?
Here's the problem with that. How do you have Canelo over Bivol when Bivol beat Canelo at Canelo's weight class? That makes no sense.
Tell him.
How can you have Canelo over Bivol when Bivol beat him? Drop Canelo down, okay? For me, I got Beterbiev at number 4. All right.
Oh wow. Okay. Nice. There we go.
He has 100% knockout radius. All right. Everyone he's fought, he's knocked out, just like Virgil Ortiz, just like Gary Antoine Russell before he lost. Okay. Now, Flo, you ain't never seen a wild fight. Get out of here. So I ain't seen him fight. But so after Beterbiev, you know, I would put Bivol there. Okay. That fight needs to happen. Can't wait for it to happen. Should have happened already, but it got pushed back. You know what I'm saying? Or then at that'd be 6. Then I'll put Canelo at 6. I'll put Canelo at 6.
Okay,
Canelo
so he had Canelo, Bivol, Beterbiev. You have Beterbiev, Bivol, Canelo, and that's because obviously Bivol beat Canelo, so you can't put Canelo over Bivol. It's just common sense format. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and look at ESPN and see where they came into play at then. Hold on 1 second. Let me add that to the stage. There we go. All right. So for number 4 on ESPN, they have Dmitry Bivol. Okay. And they also have him over Canelo. So just your reasoning exactly, ESPN has done the same and put Bivol ahead of Canelo. Now they have Beterbiev at 6 instead of 4, where you have him. So they
look at that record: 20-0, 20 knockouts. Okay, people, 20-0, 20 knockouts. He's no joke.
Now Bivol is 22-0 and 11 knockouts. So I think, I mean, is that why you think maybe because he has the advantage in wins? Maybe because he's been the fighter that did beat Canelo.
He has a better resume. Canelo boots. I mean, Artur Beterbiev, okay, his resume is good, but it's not as good as Bivol's just because of the Canelo fight, okay? And he moved down for that fight, I believe. No, Canelo moved up. I'm sorry. Canelo moved up. But regardless, Beterbiev, he's older too. He's like 36, 37, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to age him out. And that's been a rumor with Bivol, trying to keep aging him out, and then pushing that fight away because Beterbiev is kind of like, you know, Habib Nurmagomedov and Islam Makhachev. You know, he's Muslim, so he doesn't like to fight anywhere around Ramadan. And unlike Haney trained during Ramadan for the Lomo fight, but Beterbiev doesn't like to train around Ramadan. So, you know, that's why that fight's been stalled forever. But yeah, I can't put Canelo over Bivol. I can't do it.
Got it.
Flo, you ain't seen none of those guys fight. Yeah, you may have fought Canelo fight one. Get out of here.
Shout out to everyone who is tuning in and those of you subscribing. I see subscriptions coming in on the YouTube notifications. So thank you, everyone out there. If you have not, please. Yeah. Let's get to 100 at least, right? We got to get this channel going. So please subscribe at Ball and Buds. You see it right on top of me up there. Go subscribe at Ball and Buds. And also join at The Bottom Line Sports on Facebook and check us out as well. That being said, let's move on to the next 3. We have last 4, excuse me, on Tony the Savant's P4P list. He has at number 7, Earl Spence Jr.
No.
At number 8, Tyson Fury. at number 9. Let's stop
Go ahead.
Let's stop there. No. Let's stop there. You obviously 7 and 8 have wrangled the nerve.
Take that off right there. That's distracting. He has Earl Spence over Tyson Fury.
He does. Yes. Earl Spence at number 7.
How?
Above Tank, too.
I mean, Tank shouldn't be on there, but Tank should be 10. But how? I don't see how Earl Spence should be on there. He hasn't fought in over a year. He got his ass whooped his last fight against Terrence Bud Crawford when it was final. You got to understand when they fought, that was the first time he's done real drug testing. That's all I'm saying. And you saw
he also has him above Inoue at number 10.
What? He has where's Inoue out on his list?
Number 10.
How is a 2-time undisputed champion at number 10 on your pound for pound list? How was that? Oh my God. I'm glad he ain't on here. Tony, I love you, but God damn. What are you talking about? How is Inoue not number 1, 2, or 3 on your list? That's impossible.
How is he not? That
you know what? Tony, I heard your quarterback list. You got Caleb Williams at 10. So I saw. So
it was bad. It was bad.
I understand the biasness. Go ahead.
Maybe he hasn't seen Inoue. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe he has never seen Inoue fight.
Maybe you probably never see. You know, if you haven't seen him fight, I get it. He fights over, I think, Japan, right? So thank you, Derek, my brother. A horrid list. Like it's just how.
What?
How do you have Inoue at 10? All right,
10 after Spence, Fury, and Tank. Tank was number 9, by the way, for him.
All right, let me gather myself.
Gather yourself and give us your 7, 8, 9, and 10.
All right, no order. Okay, 7. 7. I got Bam Rodriguez is on my list. He's number 7. I'll say he's there. Okay. 8. Now I'm spitballing because I didn't write this down. I only wrote a couple down. I didn't write the rest. At 8,
okay, that's fine.
I'm gonna put David Benavidez.
Gotta be at 8. Gotta be in your list.
And if anyone says, "Oh, why you got him there?" Caleb Plant and well, you have never seen Bam fight. Like I know he hasn't seen him fight. Anyways, we're gonna put Bam at 10.
Who's he got? You got Benavidez, Tank, Shakur, and Bam at 10. Okay, that's it.
See, Bam should be higher than Tank. But anyways, I got Bam at what I have at 8.
You bet Bam at 7, Benavidez at 8.
I'm sorry,
is what you had.
Benavidez at 7. I'm at 8. I'm sorry.
Benavidez
and
7.
The reason I have Benavidez, people are like, "Oh, why you got him so high?" He's fought Caleb Plant, an ex-champion. He's fought what's his name? God, the dude he fought after Caleb Plant. Look it up, Omar. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry.
But anyways,
I was looking.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to remember. Andrade. Dimitri Andrade.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
so he fought him, and he was that's who Canelo moved up because he avoided a fight. Knocked him out in like in the 3rd or 4th round. Okay, so Benavidez 100% got him at what I'm at 8. Now 9. All right. And this is a disclaimer because I do not like to put heavyweights in my top 10 list because the reason being I do have Usyk up there is because he came from cruiserweight, and also he's not your typical heavyweight who just no real skill like a Wilder. He has good boxing skills. He can he's a damn good boxer, and also he's a 2-time the best cruiserweight of all time over Evander Holyfield, moving up to heavyweight as well. So I would say, all right, so we're at 9.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So far you have Usyk, Crawford, Inoue, Beterbiev, Bivol, Canelo, Bam, and Benavidez.
Oh.
So you're missing the likes of, just to give you a few, just to spark your mind, Spence, Fury, Tank, Stevenson, and Teofimo Lopez, maybe Loma, maybe that's about it.
This is what we'll do. So I'm not going to disrespect him, man. I know he has a lot of suspect fights, but I put Teofimo Lopez at number 9. Okay. I put him up there. The reason being is because, see, people calling me when we doing the show, Jason Aponte, we doing a show, so I know you ain't listening. You ain't watching.
So we know you don't watch. Thanks a lot for supporting your boys that known you for
Jason.
20 years. Why aren't you watching?
You ain't watching. But anyways, so at 9, the reason I'm putting Teofimo Lopez there is because this man is a 2-division champion. He's very young in the game. He's only 24, 25 in that Tank. I'm sorry, not Tank, but Shakur Haney range. He's a 140 champion. He fought Lomo, beat him at 135. He would have been undisputed, but he's not because Lomo ducked Devin Haney to fight him, so he didn't get the WBC belt. So he won that fight. And then, he went to 140, got the belt, and then fought Josh Taylor, who was undisputed at 140 and whooped his ass. So that's why I got Teofimo Lopez at number 9. All right. You can't just put somebody up there just because they just fought, but look at their body of work. Okay. I don't care how you sell out in the arena and how much money you make. What is your body of work as a fighter? All right. So that's why I got Teofimo at number 9. All right. Now 10.
So now 10. Hold on a second. Let me introduce this real quick though, because you already said that Tank would automatically be above Spence, right? Which we know. Right. Yeah. Hold on. I know. I'm setting you up. We also have the aforementioned Shakur Stevenson that we talked about earlier, and then you have the getting votes on the ESPN list: Lomachenko, Fury, Spence, and Haney. So those are pretty much what you'd be looking at for your last pick.
Now, I already said earlier that I'm taking Spence away. I'm sorry, Haney away from this. He stays retired.
Right.
If he was on this list, he'd probably be 9 or 10. Okay, I understand. Ryan Garcia had the Pez and yada, yada, yada. But
so you're only doing that because he retired, because if he wouldn't, he would be in your top 10 around 9.
Yes. And if Ryan Garcia would have beat him fair and square and there's no drugs or weight loss, whatever, his ass about my list is Ryan Garcia whooped his ass.
Okay.
However,
got it.
It wasn't a fair fight. So
right. Okay.
I don't want to put Spence there because he looks god awful. It's been over a year since we saw that ass whooping.
He still hasn't come back from that. He still hasn't come back from that ass whooping.
This is me being petty because I wanted Spence versus Crawford for 5 years, and for 5 years he ducked him, saying that you fight across the street, I'm gonna do the easy route. He said this on video, so anybody wants to research that. This is facts here. Okay, so now Tank, you look at Tank's body of work, he ain't really fought nobody. Point blank, period. Okay. You're like, oh yeah, he beat Frank Martin. Y'all don't know who Frank Martin is. Y'all don't know who Frank Martin is. I punched my mic again. Flo, you jinx me. So
the Flo
y'all don't know who he is. So the reason why I'm going to be nice, I'm going to say Tank because he's fighting Lomo next. It's going to be for unified belt. It's the WBO against the WBA. And it's going to be for the Ring Magazine and the Lineal belt. And if you guys don't know, the Ring Magazine is that belt that's look like American flag, like Rocky wore. That basically states that that's the main person. That's the main guy in that division. So I know Tony the Savant had posted what belt means the most in boxing. And he said the WBC, the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA. And it's really, if I can do it correctly, right here. The little Rocky belt right there. That's the Ring Magazine belt. That means that the lineal belt means that you are the man at that division. Okay. Devin Haney held that when Zab Judah was walking out to the ring. Okay. When he was a little kid. So that belt right there, that's what Tank and Lomo is fighting for amongst their other belts. Okay. So I'm going to put Tank there at number 10 because he's finally becoming a man and fighting fighters that he should have fought 4 or 5 years ago that called him out. But now at age 29, he wants to say, you know what? I want to fight the good fighters. Belts matter. So I'm putting Tank at 10. So there we go. That's my top.
And you have always said that. And you have always said that before about Tank. So that's no surprise that you are ranking him there. So you had, to recap, number 7, Bam Rodriguez, number 8, David Benavidez, number 9, Teofimo Lopez, and number 10, Gervonta Tank Davis. Now let's take a look at how ESPN ranked those fighters. And so we see here.
Good shit, Flo. Good shit. Respect.
We see here that they have Tank Davis at 7. So you had him at 10. They have him at 7. They have Shakur Stevenson in here, who you did not have in your list at all. And they had Bam, who you had at 7. They have him at 9. And then they have Teofimo at 10. Notably missing Benavidez and Fury. So that is the ESPN ranking. What do you have to say
Fury,
about that?
I think Fury, the reason why Fury gets a lot of slack is because Fury looked like dog shit against Ngannou, who's not a boxer. And then if you see what Joshua did to Fury, he got him up out of there in 2 rounds. And I believe somebody I know put that video up in our group chat. It wasn't me, but it was somebody that watched that fight, allegedly put that that knockout in the group chat. But it wasn't me because I pay for my fights. But anyways,
so I know who it was. So tell me this then. There's going to be a few. Raise your hand if you're Slim Shady. The people would ask then, after looking at the ESPN list, why does, and this could be recency bias because he just won, but why do you have Gervonta at 10? And I know why you do, because you said he hasn't fought anybody, but ESPN has him ranked at number 7, which is quite a bit higher. What do you think is the discrepancy there?
Well, you got to look at 2 things. They have Gervonta Tank Davis at 7, and they got Shakur at 8. And scroll down, who's number 9 and 10?
Jesse's 9, Bam, and then 10 is Teofimo.
Okay, so you got Teofimo, and then you have Shakur, which are both ESPN fighters, top rank. So they're gonna have them on that list.
Got it.
Bam should be higher. Bam holds 2 belts. Is fighting for his 3rd belt in his division. He should be higher than that. Tank has 1 belt his whole career. Okay, I don't count regular champions. Okay, I don't count when you say Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson are trash or whatever, and then you don't fight them when you have the opportunity to fight them. I don't count when you say Ryan Garcia, you're on steroids, but everybody knows you're on steroids, and then when I want to fight you, you drain him with 10-pound weight claws, and then you make it a catch weight at 136. That's why I don't put you there. Okay, if you're the man who's been the man at 135, you should have already fought Shakur Stevenson, already fought Devin Haney, should have fought Ryan, all those guys a long time ago. You're older than them. When Mayweather released that full video of Tank sparring Devin was only 16, and Tank was 20 years old, and Devin was manhandling him. Okay, they only posted the clips where Tank hit him a couple times. He gave that to Ryan Garcia to post, but now that him and Tank are beefing, he posted a whole video, and you saw that.
I know, right? Yeah, how's that?
His ass. So people read between the lines when it comes to this boxing stuff. All right, it's kind of the answer is always in front of us. You just got to look. Okay, Shakur Stevenson. I'm a big fan of Shakur. I love Shakur. I love watching him fight. Teofimo Lopez, big fan of him. But they fight for top rank, which is ESPN. So of course they're going to be on the list. Now I think Teofimo deserves to be on the list. Shakur, he has better accolades than Tank does in boxing, being a 2-division and unified champion, 130, 135. Yes, he has a better resume on paper than Tank, but Shakur hasn't looked so good his last few fights, so that's the reason why I kind of took him up off there. I was going to have my 10, but I put Tank there instead. And that's because Tank.
No, actually, I agree. Yeah, no, I was going to say, I completely agree with your reasoning. And I forgot that Shakur and Teofimo are top ranked ESPN boxers, so they would have the bias to put them on the list. That completely slipped my mind. So that is really great analysis there by you. So I really appreciate you helping us out with that. And so there you go, y'all. That is the top 10. Hey, Tony, we are sorry we missed you, brother. We really wanted to have you on. I was hoping to have a spirited debate between you and Clubber D. We're gonna have to make sure he gets on next time for banter, brawls, and bravado. The next time we have one in a couple of weeks here, when we get Mike Wiebe on for some baseball, we'll try to bring him on as well because we've been trying to get a second time in a row. We tried to get him on last time. it was just a mix-up between when he came into the waiting room and then he had a screen turned off and I wasn't sure when to bring him on, and then he left. It was just a miscommunication. But today I told him I was going to send it at 7:30, and I sent it right on the dot at 7:30. So, hey, sorry, brother. We wish you were here, but we will get you on next time. That being said, we thank everybody for tuning in. Ball and Buds is where you need to subscribe at BALLANDBUDS. Subscribe on YouTube. That's where you'll be able to follow all of our upcoming live streams. Every time Clubber D has his combat sports special, which you saw today, when we talk all the boxing, MMA, UFC, and combat sports, we will have that on for UFC 304. Look for us on July 25th. It will be another Thursday. You will see us, and we will be coming to you for that. Also, be on the lookout. Next Monday, we will have the Mind of the Professor. I will be back on with my solo programming on Monday, so check me out with some very hot, controversial topics, and then we'll bring back Banter, Brawls, and Bravado the week of the All-Star break next mid-month, where we'll try to get our boy Mike Wiebe to come on, and also, hopefully, Tony the Savant. So that being said, again, everybody, we love and support, and thank you for your support. Go ahead again, subscribe at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. Clubber D is on TikTok, a new profile. Go follow him on TikTok, Clubber.D on TikTok, and you can find him. He's going to be doing some dances like the NBA draft prospects were doing earlier today and all of that good stuff as well. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. That is where you will see the shorts and reels from Clubber D, as well as all the promotional images that we put out as well. Flo, thank you for tuning in. Catch Flo, Hot Take Jake, your boy Canteen, and myself every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on The Bottom Line Sports. Join the Facebook group at The Bottom Line Sports. We talk a lot of trash news and have a good time. Yeah, that's what he was saying. He said Tony has done this to him a couple times where he tells him he was going to come on, he's going to come on. Now, I don't think that's the case with us because Tony did come on last time. It was just a misconfusion. And he called him Tiny. I didn't put it on there, but he called him Tiny. But he also, I missed this one. He also mentioned that Inoue got knocked down by Neary last month. But yes, he did come back to finish him. So yeah, he did get his first knockdown ever. But he came back to finish him.
That's what he needed, because a lot of people that were on the fence with Inoue was his level of opposition. And he fought the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire, and that was a hell of a fight. Both of them, I believe they fought twice. But he got knocked down, and then he got up, made adjustments. The thing about boxing, you have to make adjustments when things happen. And he made adjustments, and he whooped Neary's butt from here on out. So yeah, Inoue's the man. Trust me, he is the man. And also, check us out, Ball and Buds. So what I'm gonna do, I see that the Wilder video I posted got a little traction. So I plan on posting the next one will probably be a UFC video. I'm gonna need you guys to write Ball and Buds, and I want to know who is the most popular person who never become champion. Okay, I already got a video I'm gonna put out pretty soon. That's gonna be this person. But I want to hear from everyone else. Who do you want me to talk about? But we're gonna post some videos. You said July. End of July we might come back on.
Yeah, we'll have our next combat sports special for UFC 304. That I think that's July 27th is the date. So that Thursday will be July 25th.
July 25th. We might pop.
We'll be back on. We'll be back on with the Banter, Brawls, and Bravado. We'll bring you on to talk that with Tony again, so we can get that out.
Yeah. My man Tony, if he showed up. But anyways, So I'm gonna post some shorts. I see that the last short got a little bit of traction on TikTok and YouTube. So we're gonna have some fun with this.
And also, don't forget the fan mailbag, ClubberDBNB at Gmail. ClubberDBNB at Gmail. You can send your fan mailbag questions there. We answer them every time we come on. And also, you can send your ideas for the most popular boxer that never won a title. And Clubber D will show his video later this week. Maybe show some other things in that dancing.
Got a few.
What?
Hey, your mom already knows. I'll show a few. What?
We love you and we thank you, Ball and Buds, on behalf of the star of the show, Clubber D, the Combat G. I am yours truly, the sports professor. Enjoy that presidential debate tonight. It is going to be a shit show. Peace out, y'all.
He's with the millions.
that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure flow. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me street pro. Create heat on beat flow. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. Hard like winter cold. Bust these fools, anything less than killing whack rappers is a crime. I stay trying to get mine. Stacking value, packing venues, winning over time. Ain't no fine timeline. Open your eyes, you're looking for the best, and this is what you find. Game is only for the bold. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.
Introducing from parts unknown, your UFC and Combat Sports Insider, Clever D, the Combat G, and the Sports Professor,